As we move on to the last game that we're diving into in depth, this looked like a solid game at halftime, going in 7-7, but then the Chiefs proved that they still are the contenders that they are. They defended home field, and I mean, the Commanders were out there with Marcus Mariota, and his peak was in college when he won the Heisman, and he's basically been a solid backup ever since. As the Chiefs beat the Commanders 28-7. Kevin, I'm tossing it to you first. What was your reaction to this one? As I would say, would you actually, better question, would you say that your disdain for the Chiefs is stronger than the Commanders, even though they're your division rival?
I wouldn't call them our division rival. I think that's a stretch.
Okay. See, that's why I was wondering.
But I'll say the Chiefs, just because, if it wasn't for them, there would be 3 jerseys hanging behind me. And I'd be talking a lot crazier. I already talk crazy as it is, but if we would have had one, if we would have got that one, it would have been a lot. But I will let you know, if we would have won the first one, lost the second one, it wouldn't have felt as good. But this game was hard to watch. 0-0 first quarter, 3 interceptions. As a football fan, I don't know how you guys feel about it, but they need to make a separate stat for interceptions that aren't caused by the quarterback.
Yes.
Because Travis Kelce dropping that ball and becoming a pick, like, we're going to look at that in the end of the year and be like, oh, well, he had this many picks. But it's like, if there was a category for just drop passes that become picks or balls that are tipped at the line that become picks, I feel like we'd be able to look at quarterback stat lines completely different. But that's neither here nor there. They still would win the game. Rashee Rice makes this offense so much better. So much better. I can't sit here and lie. The Chiefs look scary. If they can get this defense in wraps again, this offense is going to be able to put up points. Kareem Hunt is turning back the clock each Sunday that goes by. All the Isaiah Pacheco fantasy owners are hurting because he gets all the goal line carries. They're now even giving Rashee Rice goal line carries. Travis Kelce is able to look like Travis Kelce because they have guys like Xavier Worthy, Hollywood Brown, Rashee Rice on the outside to open up the field. Patrick Mahomes is playing like one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. After week 1, if you would have asked me that, I would have said no. This offense was struggling. We didn't really know what we were going to see every night. But Rashee Rice back. I know the Raiders game, we can't really talk much about it. I think Cass talked about it. I think the clip would have lasted like 10 seconds. So the Raiders game wasn't really much to see. Same with this Commanders game. It's funny because this last year, everyone was a Commanders fan. Everyone was texting my phone. Jaden Daniels MVP. Jaden Daniels top 8. And now, hopefully, knocking on wood, I hope he's not going down the RG3 trajectory. Just that O-line is abysmal. Deebo Samuel is washed. I don't want to hear about all the stats that he had against bad teams. Today, like I said, that should be a category where it's not on the quarterback. He threw it right into his hands. He bubbled it, and it ended up in the Chiefs' hands. This Commanders team has a lot of holes. So they spent a lot of money on Terry McLaurin. This was his first game back. Yeah, he got to the end zone, so that's always nice to see. But they have a lot of things that they got to figure out. It's not just a Jaden Daniels situation, because I feel like even with Jaden Daniels, this team isn't good. So maybe, it's like I'm trying to think of another example of a team that really peaked really early. For basketball reference, the Atlanta Hawks, they went to the ECF. The Commanders went to the NFC Championship game last year, and they went all in. They got a Larry Tunsil. They're trading away draft picks because they think they're going to be back. And now, 2020 vision, would they have done that now, knowing how the season was going to play out? Probably not. But it's sad to see. I was really happy to hear that all the Commanders fans were back. But, now it's sad to see how everything's playing out.
Yeah, before this game, Kevin asked me if I wanted to switch my pick because I told him a couple of weeks ago that I'm tired of these everyone graphics, and so I was going to be the one to pick against the Chiefs. But after what happened to me last week, I was out. I was like, nope. I switched my pick last week, and I went from 2-0 to 0-2 on Monday Night Football. So if Jaden Daniels was playing in this game, then I actually would have considered it. But with Marcus Mariota out there, I was like, no, sir, I'm not gonna be me. But also, if you look at recent history, the Chiefs had won 8 games in a row against Washington coming into this game. So now they made it 9 in a row. And so Kansas City just has their number. Kaz, throwing it to you, two-part question for you as well is, who do you despise more, the Chiefs or the Commanders, and what were your thoughts on this game overall?
Despise?
Yeah, I hate, dislike, whatever word you want to put in there. I said disdain for Kevin.
I don't really despise either team because, one, we've already beat the Chiefs, and we should have beat them twice in the Super Bowl. So, therefore, I don't give a fuck about the Chiefs, honestly. I really don't. And we beat them this season. So, therefore, I was like this. Therefore, I'm like, the Chiefs are nothing to me as an Eagles fan. As for the Commanders, they had one good season. The last time they won the division was when the division was fucking in shambles. And they're on the same scale as the New York Giants. I don't despise any of them. If anything, I feel bad for the Commanders because they are a poverty franchise. And the Chiefs, it's like, I respect you. Obviously, you have to respect the Chiefs. You know what I'm saying? What Mahomes is doing is crazy, but I don't necessarily despise any of them. But when it comes to this game, it's simple as this. Marcus Mariota. Like, y'all think that the Chiefs are going to lose to Mariota when the Chiefs are kind of in a must-win now situation, believe it or not, because their division, I mean, they got the Broncos and the Chargers who are playing really well right now. Don't fuck around and lose out on a chance at the first round bye. Because you got to think about this, okay? Look at the AFC. AFC West. Obviously, you got Chiefs, you got the Broncos, you got the Chargers. Raiders not in the question. AFC South. Let's just talk about the Colts. AFC East, you have the Bills, obviously, and the Patriots, who might be low-key my favorite to win a division. Then the AFC North. The Ravens are in shambles. The Bengals, they're in shambles. The Steelers are beatable, and then you have the fucking Browns. The AFC is open. It's up for grabs. Like that whoever ends up getting that first round bye out of the AFC, like, it's probably going to be one of the most deserved first round buys ever, because there is no outright just best team coming out of the AFC. There isn't, not right now. So you look at the Chiefs. It's like the fact that you're doing what other teams should be doing and winning winnable games. This was a winnable game. It's Marcus Mariota. It's the Commanders who are not good right now. I mean, the Commanders are only going to be good with Jaden Daniels. That's it. Let's just call it what it is. If he's out of the game, they're not going to be good. Okay, when he's in a game, it's also questionable because they got rid of one of the most valuable assets, which I thought was crazy, and that is Brian Robinson. So they do that and go get Austin Eckler's old ass. That was a failed experiment. And now look at them. Terry McLaurin damn near wanted out. He wanted out of Washington. Was holding out. Now he comes back and does what? Some fantasy points. This isn't a situation where I could ever take the Commanders to beat the Chiefs. Even if Jaden Daniels played, I'm still picking the Chiefs to beat the Commanders. I'm sorry. This is not a team that had any sort of potential to beat the Chiefs. The Chiefs started off slow because they were not healthy. That's it. They were getting guys back. In the addition of Rashee Rice, I think, Shaun, you said it best. It's like, dude, like, they're a good offense. Mahomes now is or I think it was Kevin, actually. I think Mahomes is looking like one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. Rightfully so. He's obviously one of the best. You know, he is the golden child. But now Rashee Rice comes back and immediately is making an impact. I wouldn't be surprised if the Chiefs win the next 5-6 games straight. I'm serious. Like, this is why it kind of sucks if you're a Chargers fan or if you're a Broncos fan, because you guys need to be as close to as undefeated as possible, because messing around and waiting around and lingering around for the Chiefs to get their mojo back, because why would you expect them not to? They do it every year. They've done it since 2018. Since Mahomes has become the renowned starter for the Chiefs, what have they done? Why would this year be any different? They haven't lost anything. Kelsey's a little bit older. Cool. They still got Hollywood Brown there. They still got Juju who can make plays. Noah Gray, and on the other side of Kelsey, who Mahomes finds ways to get him involved. Then you have the two-headed monster that is Isaiah Pacheco and Kareem Hunt. Kareem Hunt's a monster. People forget about that because of the scandal that happened, 5-6 years ago when he had that issue with that girl, right? Dude, before that happened, he was a top running back in the NFL. No, not injury prone. He's not, nothing. You pretty much have the same. You have a watered down version of what they have in Detroit with Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery. That's it. It's just a watered down version of it. Pacheco's a hard runner. Kareem Hunt is a good running back. You got Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, seasoned vet. Noah Gray on the other side. Juju Smith-Schuster can make plays. You got Xavier Worthy, one of the fast guys in the league, can make plays. You got Hollywood Brown, who at one point was the wide receiver one of the Baltimore Ravens, and then Rashee Rice comes back. What the fuck did you guys expect? What did you expect? Well, we're going to go out there and we're playing the Commanders because of some bullshit Jay Daniels did a year ago. It was cool seeing what the Commanders did last year as an NFL fan and as a Commanders fan, I guess you could say. But, let's just call it what it is. That's not normal. You're seeing the Commanders for what they actually are right now. And when they play teams like this, whether Jaden's involved or not, you're seeing it. So, this game is very, very much so expected. So expected. Like, anybody who thought the opposite of what happened was gambling. And that's just that. There's no way. You look at that Chiefs team and go, yeah, they're going to lose to the Commanders today. No, not at all. So I don't want to say that the Chiefs are scary because, like I said, we've already beaten them a handful of times, But what I will say is this: if you are in the AFC, don't get comfortable. Do not get comfortable because they're not only right there, stepping on your coattails. They're in the mix legitimately. They might end up winning the AFC. And that's mainly because the Ravens are injured, but regardless, they might end up winning the AFC, honestly.
Death, taxes, and the Kansas City Chiefs contending for an AFC championship. It just seems to happen all the time. If I remember correctly, guys, the Chiefs have made it to the AFC championship game every single season since 2019, is it? And so, yeah, that's not a bold prediction in all honesty, but with how everyone tries to count the Chiefs out time and time again, I think Kaz is just saying what needs to be said at this point because the Ravens were the popular pick among many. I strayed out in the left
Super Bowl
field
favorites on every betting app. They were Super Bowl favorites. The Ravens were
exactly.
Like they are every year.
Exactly. Yep. Yeah, and they were the Super Bowl favorites on this podcast. I remember 4 panelists choosing the Ravens to at least get to the Super Bowl. A couple panelists had the Eagles winning the Super Bowl. But, Kevin, I believe you had the Ravens getting to the Super Bowl as well, but losing to the Eagles. And so everyone except for me had the Ravens going to the Super Bowl. I had the Bengals, so another AFC North team. But, yeah, it's like every year we try to just pick someone else to get there. But it's like if you pick the Chiefs, chances are you're like it's one of those things where it's like, okay, coming out of the AFC, are you picking the Chiefs or are you picking the field? And at this point, based on recent history, it's like a 50-50 shot at this point. And
Chiefs
so
invitational.
Yeah, exactly. And so we shall see. I, as a fan of a team that lost to the Chiefs in the Super Bowl twice and did not get our get back, fucking hate them. I will reiterate that. I hate them. Disdain, hatred, dislike, whatever word you want to insert in there. I hate the Chiefs. And I think I hate the Chiefs more than I think the Seahawks are the one team that I hate more than the Chiefs. But other than that, they're pretty high up there on the list. As we keep things moving here on episode 164 of Stats Over Politics, Shaun Holko alongside Kevin Dent and Kaz Johnson. We're keeping things moving. I appreciate all of you who have been dealing with me and my technical difficulties throughout today's broadcast. Kevin alerted me that my camera has been going in and out. I haven't noticed it on my end, but I apologize to those of you who may be tuning in on YouTube, Twitch, or Instagram for my technical difficulties today. As we're closing